Eagles' unusual building plan made Super Bowl tr.ip possible. Philadelphia - this wasn't supposed to happen, even from the beginning. The Eagles were building their future around quarterback Carson Wentz, bringing in young players through the draft to grow with Wentz for Super Bowl success in the future. The Eagles' hierarchy even admitted as much during the last off-season. But instead of going into a full-fledged rebuild, the Eagles added veterans on low-cost, short-term contracts, mixing them in like sprinkles on a donut, all to keep the Eagles competitive while the building process continued. And then, pandemonium. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl this year after their 38-7 demolition of the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship game Sunday night. They'll face the New England Patriots on February 4th in Minneapolis. We found ourselves in an interesting situation where this is year 2, you could say, of the plan, Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie said. But we have a quarterback that was advancing by leaps and bounds, and a team that was playing great defense, and an offensive line that was really good. We thought, why can't we win it all? We took an approach where we were going to do everything possible that could help our team this year, and at the same time not relinquish any options going forward. I think that was the key to the strategy. Except that Wentz was on the sideline with a cane to support his surgically repaired ACL, torn in a game on December 10th. That was supposed to be the crushing blow to the Eagles' hopes and dreams. It wasn't, mainly because of the low-cost, short-term veterans. They accounted for all 5 of the Eagles' touchdowns. And the backup quarterback, Nick Foles, threw for 352 yards, 3 touchdowns and had a quarterback rating of 141.1. About as close to perfect as you can get. Patrick Robinson returned an interception 50 yards for a touchdown. LeGarrette Blount bulldozed his way over a Vikings defender into the end zone from 11 yards out. Alshon Jeffrey scoring twice, on a 53-yard heave from Foles and a leaping 5-yard grab in the back of the end zone. And Torrey Smith caught a 41-yard flea flicker pass from Foles. It should be noted that Jeffrey did sign a 4-year extension in December. You can also add veteran Chris Long, signed to a 2-year contract at a low cost, to that mix. He knocked the arm of Vikings cornerback Case Keenum that led to Robinson's interception in the first quarter. It's not an easy mix. When you look at guys, whether they're free agents or the draft, you want to make sure their character fits with what I'm preaching, what I'm saying to the team, Eagles coach Doug Peterson said. So when we bring them in, they can just roll up their sleeves and go to work like everybody else. Eagles fans party into the night and feel the Eagles. Traveling to Minneapolis for Super Bowl isn't cheap. Eagles, Super Foles leads team to Super Bowl still. An NFL roster consists of 53 players, and the chances of them all being character fits are not good. Many teams, after all, have tried this strategy of winning while building, to little avail. Then throw in the season-ending injuries suffered by 4 key veteran players, left tackle Jason Peters, running back Darren Sproles, linebacker Jordan Hicks and special teams ace Chris Maragos, in addition to Wentz. The adversity we've had to deal with is, to me, almost unprecedented with key players, Lurie said. It's a lot of body blows at that point. If you had said, all of those players would get hurt, I would have told you, no, I don't think we'll make the playoffs. Right? So the resiliency amongst this group is phenomenal. All along, the Eagles showed that, and kept winning. So Eagles Executive Vice President for Football Operations Howie Roseman made a trade for running back J.J. at the trade deadline on October 31st. This after Roseman signed Foles to be the backup quarterback last spring. Foles, a former starter in the NFL, had a better pedigree than a typical backup, and he was more expensive, signing a 2-year deal worth $11 million. Then he proved it over the past 5 games, leading the Eagles to a 4-1 record, heading into the Super Bowl. That's why you play the game, to be in this position, Smith said. For us, that was our goal from day one, to be in this position. We believed since day one when no one else believed in us, and obviously everyone just kind of jumped on board when we were hot and when we were rolling. We lost some key players and folks fell off, but we didn't. That's why the Eagles don't care that they're underdogs for their third straight playoff game. The Patriots opened as 5.5-point favorites. The Eagles, despite being the top seed in the NFC and playing at home, were also underdogs to the Falcons, the 6th seed, and to the Vikings. The Eagles earned the right to celebrate, to stick out their chests and talk boldly of unseating the Patriots. And with the way the Eagles are building their team, there's no reason why their run of success can't continue. I think if we had those guys, it wouldn't even be close, right tackle Lane Johnson said. I think those opponents would be getting demolished, even worse than it was. Contact Martin Frank at mfrank@delawareinline.com. Follow on Twitter at mfrankinfo.